It is time for the review of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. This will feature absolutely no spoilers, zero spoilers, just my general thoughts on the quality of the film. So let's get into it. And boy, do I have a lot to say. So when it comes to the original Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, I've seen that film more than almost any other animated film in my life. I absolutely love it. From start to finish, I found it to be just about as perfect as you can make a first-time, out-of-the-gate Spider-Man film featuring an insane concept like all these different Spider-Men and Miles Morales as the star, who's still relatively new to comic books. I mean, just slightly over a decade, right? So the miracle that they were able to pull off with the first film was honestly, I thought, and I think many people thought, lightning in a bottle. So could they recapture it with the second film? The answer is yes. It's a resounding yes. It's a Bryan Danielson style yes. Not only did they manage to capture the same type of spirit that the first film does, with a longer runtime, they are able to further explore Spider-Man themes in such a thematic manner that you would associate with Spider-Man, and to do it with multiple characters, with not many getting sacrificed, with it all tying to the importance of the bigger story that includes time travel, tons of different Spider-Men that aren't just glorified cameos that play an important role, that have impact on everybody, including the development of Miles' story and character further, is absolutely astonishing. And the fact that they pull it off with such grace without sacrificing anything shows me that despite many worries that Sony would be meddling with this, they did not. They let the people do what they wanted, and they gave them the appropriate runtime. And it shows. From start to finish, this, I think for many, might end up being one of, if not the best Spider-Man film to date. And I know some people feel like that the first film falls apart in the third act, and I can see why some people feel that way. And honestly, if you still feel that way, I don't think this film is going to change that for you, because this might have that same effect. But once again, what they're tackling here and how they handle it with such respect and an approach to the source material is absolutely stunning. I find it honestly hard to believe that this is Sony doing this film. That's how good it is. Now, I want to for a second talk about the animation. The first film had a varied style. This film does that in spades and goes even further. And again, without spoilers, there's quite a few things here that you're going to look at and go, wow. You're just literally going to marvel at the scene. But all of that would be wasted if the film missed a lot of its beats, which it doesn't. Every single thing it sets up, I feel like they land it perfectly. They don't miss a beat. The action is on point. The actors are all coming through like they're legitimately loving their job and doing this. Every line seems to be delivered with absolute perfection. I honestly sat there and my mind was racing the entire time. There are scenes that I couldn't believe were happening. There's character moments and things and themes in this that I honestly never thought Sony would throw into this. There is payoff to things that they set up in the first film. There is a severe amount of weight to the decisions that the characters make that all ties into just about every single plot thread and through line that's playing through. And it's handled in such a masterful way that once again, by the time the film is over, I felt like I was gasping for air. It felt like I was seeing the Infinity War of Spider-Man films. And some of you might think that that's a spoiler. It is not, trust me. The film goes to a couple of places you are not going to expect. The film handles everything from start to finish with pure respect. And the liberties that they do take, I think some people could have problems with it. But once again, this is Spider-Man, and we know nobody hates Spider-Man more than Spider-Man fans up until they like a change, and then they hate the other one for whatever reason. If you didn't like some of the changes that they made in existing Spider-Man films, I don't know what to tell you. You might walk away from this with some disappointment, but I honestly think that you, as a Spider-Man fan, will love this film. And once again, I'm going to have to go into some spoilers to talk about what I am talking about, the ending, and what they're setting up and what's going on here. But make no mistake about it, this is still very much a Miles Morales story that bounces everything off of it with grace and doesn't sacrifice anybody else, and everybody gets the proper amount of time to do what they need while setting up the next chapter. This, I think for many people, will be their favorite Spider-Man film of all time. And I know it's saying a lot because we just had Spider-Man No Way Home, but of course some of the Spider-Man fanbase turned on that film once it got really popular and people started to overpraise it almost to some degree. And I think this might suffer from some of that as well, but I guarantee this will end up in most people's top 3, if not top 2 or number 1. It is that good.